Hi guys, so on Wednesday, Tory MP Christian Wakeford crossed the aisle and joined the Labour Party. He was placed right behind Keir Starmer during PMQs, obviously to annoy the Tory front bench. Wakeford was one of those MPs that won his seat back in 2019 on the back of Boris Johnson's popularity and getting Brexit done. Well, the reaction from the right was expected, but I want to share with you this call that Jeremy Kyle, now at Talk Radio, took, and I get the suspicion that it isn't all it's made out to be. What do you think?
Got a Manchester. Jilly, you're on Talk Drive. What do you want to say?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I am so angry. I'm trying to work, and I actually can't work because I'm shaking. I'm so angry.
Why?
I voted. I live in Bury South. I voted for Christian Wakeford. Sorry.
You don't even know his name. I love it. Yeah, go on.
So I'm getting the impression that this person is not a real voter. They're actually a Tory party activist. But let's continue.
Everyone I know voted for him, but we didn't vote for him. I've never met him. He's never had the courtesy to answer any emails I've ever sent him.
Now, she claims that she voted for him, and then she claims that she didn't vote for him. So which is it? But she's going to get to that in a moment, that she voted for the party, she didn't vote for the candidate. But what I find strange is that she said here that he's never responded to any of my emails. But then if he's never responded to your emails, wouldn't you be happy that he's gone? He's a useless MP. He should be out. He's never worked for the constituency. We're better off without him. But she's not. She's angry that he has left the Conservative Party. He's a useless MP. She's described him here as a useless MP. Now, when she talks about sending letters about what? I'd love to know what these letters contained, because generally, look, let's be frank here. The majority of people who send letters are people who have a lot of time on their hands, okay? Generally, as she's going to describe her situation in a moment, she's working and she's a single mother, but she has time to send letters to MPs. Now, generally, you send a letter to... I'm not saying it's impossible that she would send a letter to her MP, but if you're sending a letter to the MP that's part of the party that's running the country, then it's generally to ask for them to do something in your area. Or, for example, there's a roundabout that's dangerous. Can we put up some better signs on it? Or we need some speed bumps, or generally things like that, something in the local area. But if you're writing to an opposition MP, it's generally about something that you want the government to do, and the government is not doing. So I'd love to know what sort of letters she's writing, and as she claims, he hasn't responded.
I voted for him because he represented the Conservative Party, and I voted the Conservative Party under Boris Johnson. That's what I voted for. That's what everyone I know voted for. And now I feel like he's stolen my vote. I didn't vote for him because he was standing on a Labour manifesto.
This is a real red flag to me, that I didn't vote for him because he didn't stand on the Labour manifesto. This gives me the impression that she's not a real voter, that she's a Tory party activist. Because a normal voter would say, look, I voted for this guy, I really voted for Boris Johnson's Conservative Party, and their concern today would be less that he flipped over, but wouldn't they be concerned about what the government is doing? Now, it doesn't have to be about parties at number 10 or anything, but wouldn't you say, I voted for the Conservative Party to do X, Y, and Z? Have they done X, Y, and Z?
I am beyond in agreement with you. I've been slaughtered left, right and centre and told I don't understand the Constitution. I'm going to say something else as well that'll go down like a lead balloon. I am not supporting Boris Johnson's the mistakes he's made. I'm pretty sure the notorious Tory party will get rid of him. But I'll tell you something I just said to Dave. I reckon Christian Wakeford, to protect his own political backside, might just have done Boris Johnson a favour this afternoon. I cannot in any way think the man has any integrity, especially, I don't know if you heard me say this, Jilly, he sponsored a bill that's currently going through Parliament. It's only just done its first reading, which says that if anybody ever did this, i.e. defected in the middle of a Parliament, they would have to resign. There has to be a Bury by-election. And whether Tories in Bury South want to turf Johnson out of number 10, that is their right, not Christian Wakeford's, right?
The polling in this constituency in particular pointed to a Labour victory. So if there was a by-election and he was the candidate, he would have lost his seat. Probably. It was a massive swing to Labour. So he realised, oh, okay, if I join the Labour Party, then I avoid a by-election. And yes, he sponsored a bill to call a by-election, and he's a hypocrite. But he's a politician. Politicians do this all the time. Surely Kyle is angry with the likes of Boris Johnson, who breaks the rules all the time, who says one thing one day and it's something else the next. This is typical behaviour. But it's not actually against the rules.
100%. I would spend all my spare time campaigning for him not to be re-elected if there was a by-election, and there has to be a by-election because no one voted on a Labour manifesto.
Do you think it's time for Boris Johnson to go? Bury South voter?
I'll be honest. The other reason why I'm angry, I didn't vote for Boris Johnson because I thought he was an honourable man or because I believed him. I don't believe any politicians.
And here we have it. Okay, I didn't vote for Boris Johnson because I believed he was an honourable man. But you voted for Wakeford in order to get Boris Johnson into power. What does that say about you?
I think all politicians lie. They all spin on their own agenda. I voted for him because of the direction he wanted to take this country.
Mm-hmm. How can you say that they all lie and then you voted for him for the direction he was going to take the country? So Boris Johnson made a promise. He said, I'm going to do X. And you say, I voted for him to do X. And then you turn around and say, well, all politicians lie. Well, then why would you vote for somebody if you know they were going to lie to you? Especially Boris Johnson. Do politicians lie? Yes, politicians generally lie. But some lie to a certain degree. There are a certain quantity of lies on their side compared to others. So this voter, I don't believe for a second that she's a normal voter. I think she's a Tory party activist. But she says that she voted for her representative to get Boris Johnson into power because Boris Johnson promised to do something, and then she turns around and says, well, they're all liars and they're only in it for themselves.
And the media and Labour have got so focused on Partygate that they've lost direction. And what is really important,
They have lost direction. They're leading in the polls at the moment. Boris Johnson is the distraction here, not the Labour Party, not the media. It's like she's blaming the Labour Party for Boris Johnson going to a party. Is that what she's saying? Let me just go back a little bit.
Media and Labour have got so focused on Partygate that they've lost direction. And what is really important, I'm a single mother. I work 2 jobs to make my bills, to pay my bills.
I don't believe this for a second. I do not believe this for a second, that she's a single mother and she works 2 jobs to make ends meet. Then why are you angry about a Tory MP who's done nothing for your constituency leaving to join the Labour Party? This makes no sense to me whatsoever. I don't believe for a second she's a normal voter. Maybe she is, and I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I take it back. But I struggle to believe that she's a regular voter, because a regular voter who's doing 2 jobs and is a single mother has time to write letters to her local MP about something. he doesn't respond, and her anger is that he has joined the Labour Party. If he's a useless MP, you should be happy that he's gone. And then she said that she didn't vote for him, she voted for Boris Johnson. But she's not. She's angry with all politicians because they all lie. But she voted for Boris Johnson to do something that he promised. Okay.
And already in the past 2 months, my energy bills have gone up £100 a month. That to me is important. Sure. Not whether there was parties in.
And why aren't you angry with Boris Johnson and the government then? Why are you angry with the Labour Party? Why are you angry with the media? She's angry with the wrong people. And she's saying, well, my concern is energy bills. Now, why aren't you angry with the government who are responsible here? Doesn't make any sense to me.
In Downing Street, because I'm sure there were parties in lots of other places as well.
And there we have it. Stop being angry with Boris Johnson and the Tories in number 10, because there were parties all over the place. Doesn't matter about Boris Johnson, who writes the rules, breaking the rules, because other people broke the rules. Once again, I believe this is a Tory party activist, not a real voter.
And I just don't understand why we're focused on parties. Yes, it was wrong. He made the rules, whatever. But let's focus on something more important, like making sure that people like me and other people that are struggling to pay their bills can actually come home to a warm house and food on the table.
Can I just...
And who is responsible for that? Why are so many people relying on food banks? Who cut the universal credit uplift? Was it the Labour Party? No. Who promised that it was necessary to leave the European Union in order to cut VAT on fuel, did not cut VAT on fuel, even though the UK has left the European Union? Boris Johnson and the Tories. And she's angry with the Labour Party.
I've been here 4.5 months, and that's the best phone call by a mile. Absolutely.
I don't want to see the worst then. If this is the best phone call, you received a call, probably, I have to be careful what I say, but probably from a Tory party activist masquerading as a voter, and you say this is the best call ever. But then Jeremy Kyle, the less we say about him, the better, I think. So, guys, let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about this. Do you think she was a real voter? Do you think she was a Tory party activist? And what do you think of Jeremy Kyle too? Let me know in the comment section. As always, those comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?